It is 9:30 at night and you heard a hard knock. You look through the peephole and it is police at your front door. Your stomach drops because you have no idea why they're there, and your first instinct is to open the door and explain. If you're thinking about cops at your door and what to do in California, the next 30 seconds can decide whether this stays a brief conversation or turns into a criminal case. I'm Nana Knight. I'm a criminal defense attorney based in San Jose, and in this video, I'm going to give you the exact words to use, the biggest mistakes people make at the door, and the few situations where the rules actually change. When police show up at your door, your goal is simple. Do not give them consent. Do not give them information, and do not give them an easy path inside your home. In California, your home has strong constitutional protections. Police generally need a warrant to enter unless you give them permission or consent, or there is true emergency, or there's a search warrant. The problem is most people accidentally give permission without realizing it, and by the time they understand what happened, it's too late to undo it. So rule number 1, you do not have to open the door just because police knock. A knock is not a warrant. A badge is not a warrant. We just want to talk is not a warrant. You can speak through the door. You can speak through a security camera. You can open a few inches with the chain that's on your door if you have one. But I generally tell my clients there's no obligation for you to open the door at all unless you have to. So here's the simplest sentence to start with. You need to be calm and respectful. Hello, officer. What is this about? Then immediately move to the 2 questions that matter most. Do you have a warrant? And am I being detained? Those 2 questions tell you everything you need to know about where this conversation is actually going and why they're possibly there, right? So if they say they have a warrant, do not argue through the door. You could say, okay, can you show me the warrant through the window, or slide it under the door so you can take a look at it. Now you're looking for your name, your address, and the judge's signature. If they cannot show you a warrant, your next sentence is, I do not consent to any entry or any search. You say it clearly, you say it once, do not explain why, but consent is the easiest way for the police to get inside. If you say, sure, come on in, or step back and hold the door open, you have just made their job easy and your situation a lot harder, potentially. Rule number 2, do not try to clear things up at the door. People think honesty will fix it. They think if they just explain, police will understand and leave. But police do not come to your home to hear your side first. If they're there actually or usually collecting evidence, looking for someone, or trying to get consent to enter. So when you feel yourself wanting to explain, use the sentence instead. I am not going to answer questions without my lawyer. That protects you without being confrontational. You can also say, I want to remain silent, or I want to speak with an attorney. These sentences are not admissions of guilt. There's no obligation for you to give them statements. They're the smartest thing you can say, as in, I want to speak with an attorney first. Rule number 3, do not let them pull you outside without thinking. If you step outside and close the door, you have moved yourself into a public space where police have more control. A conversation at the door can quickly become or turn into a detention once you step off the threshold. So if you do choose to step outside for your own safety reasons, do it intentionally. You can say, I'm stepping outside to talk. I do not consent to any entry into my home. And keep your body positioned between the officers and your doorway. If you step aside and leave the door open, you may be unintentionally inviting entry, or your actions could be interpreted as consent to enter your residence. Rule number 4, watch for the permission questions, because police are trained to ask questions that sound completely harmless. Things like, mind if we come in for a minute, or can we just take a quick look around? Do you have anything in your house we should know about? Is anyone else inside? These questions are designed to get a yes, a gesture, or a hesitation that could later be described as consent. Your answers should be short and consistent. I do not consent to a search. I am not answering questions without my lawyer. You are not required to help them build a case against you and help you get convicted. Rule number 5, do not lie. If you do not want to answer, do not answer. Silence is protected. Lying to law enforcement can create additional charges and affect your credibility, raise credibility problems that follow you throughout the entire case. If you feel pressure to say you want to speak with an attorney first. Rule number 6, know the situation where the rules change. There are a few scenarios where police have more authority than the average person expects. If they have a real warrant that's signed by a judge for the search of your residence, do not physically block them. Do not get into a confrontation, whether it's verbal or physical. The time to fight that is in court, not at your door. You can say, I'm not resisting. I do not consent. I would like to speak to my lawyer. Keep saying that. Keep it on the record. They're probably, hopefully, wearing body cameras, right, that are recording all the interactions with you. Exigent circumstances is the legal term for a genuine emergency, an exception to the warrant requirement. If police have an objectively reasonable belief that someone inside is in immediate danger or that evidence is going to be or is actively being destroyed, they may claim the right to enter your house without a warrant. That legal question gets decided later by a judge, but your job at the door is not to escalate, not to physically interfere, and to clearly state that you do not consent if that's what you want to do. If you're on probation or parole with a search condition, your rights at the door can be very different. Police may be able to enter in ways that would be unlawful for someone not on supervision, someone who has not previously waived their Fourth Amendment rights. If that applies to you, stay calm, invoke your rights, and contact an attorney immediately. Rule number 7, if they say they will get a warrant, stay calm. This is one of the most common pressure tactics. Sometimes they can get one, sometimes they cannot. Sometimes it is a bluff because they do not have sufficient probable cause for a judge to sign off on a warrant. So your response could be, okay, if you get a warrant, you can come back with it. I do not consent to a search. Then stop talking. Do not negotiate your constitutional rights away on your porch. Rule number 8, if they ask to look for someone inside, you're not required to help. A very common scenario, police are looking for a suspect or a person they want to question, and they ask to come inside your house just to make sure that they're not inside your house. If they do not have a warrant for your home, you can simply say, no, I cannot let you in without a warrant. I do not consent to a search. But if they claim they have a warrant for a person rather than a location, then the situation is a little more complicated. The safest move is to stay calm, state the fact that you are not consenting, and contact an attorney as soon as possible. Rule number 9, if you record, do it safely. California is a two-party consent state for many audio recordings, but recording police in a public-facing interaction at your door is generally considered lawful. The best practice is to be transparent about it. You can say, officer, I'm going to record this interaction. Do not shove a phone in anyone's face. Do not escalate. The goal is documentation, not provocation. Here's a clean door script you can memorize right now. Step 1, hello, officer. What is this about? Step 2, do you have a warrant? Step 3, if they have no warrant, you can say, I do not consent to entry or to a search of my residence. Step 4, I'm not answering questions without my lawyer. Step 5, am I being detained? Step 6, if you're not being detained, you can say, okay, I'm going to close the door now. Calm, respectful, protected. Have you ever had police come to your door unexpectedly? What happened? And what do you wish you had known going into that moment? Drop a comment below with your county. I try to read every single one. If you want to understand your rights when police ask to search your phone, watch my next video on this channel. And if the police have already been to your door and things have escalated, you can call Night Law at 408-877-6177. We handle criminal defense in San Jose and in North and South County in Santa Clara. Leave a comment with your county and what the officer said and what they did. I will tell you the first issue I would look at as I go through the comments, because I do try to respond to comments.